All right, good afternoon. First and foremost, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to be able to present to you. My name is Matt. I'm joined today by Danapati and Kilden. We're from the University of New Brunswick. And hopefully, there's still some wow factor left in discussing the urban mobility issues in Banff, despite you having heard from 15 other very competent teams. So, Banff has a congestion problem, as you are all intimately aware. They had a record-breaking 4.3 million visits last year, and of that last year, 60-plus days were above threshold congestion values. Okay, Calgary, or 15% of the traffic coming into Banff is directly from Calgary, and Calgary is growing at 6% per year. So, all that to say, these tourist stressors are likely to continue and will probably increase. So, I'm going to pass off to Danapati to talk about some of our proposed solutions.
Thank you, Matt. For all of our solution, we wanted to emphasize on cost-effective, timely solution and stay within the scope of improving urban mobility in Banff in order to provide a quality solution. So this is the approach we took. First, we revitalized bus stops. Second, we took some parking management, and then we introducing incentives and disincentives. So I'll start with the first solution. This is to install interactive bus stops. What this does is it has an interactive dashboard where it shows a map of bus in real time. So you can, using GPS, you can also integrate it in your mobile phones. So we want to start with, we wanted to find all the pre-existing bus stop in Banff. We wanted to strategically find and locate bus stops where we can put this interactive bus stops, so it's easier for the tourists and visitors. We found that first, we did all the analysis in ArcGIS Pro. We started with finding pre-existing location of bus stops. We also found some of the area of interest and popular tourist destination. So our goal was to find some of the bus stops which are near to these popular destinations. And as you can see, some of the popular destinations are around Central Park. Some are in the north and south, like train stations and Bow Fall, which are all equally popular. So if we could install interactive bus stops in those stations, then it will bring all the visitors to Banff using public transportation. So this is the final layout that we achieved using ArcGIS Pro. This shows the potential location for installing interactive billboards within Banff, focusing on areas of interest. We plan to install around 12 bus stops with this interactive billboard, and 7 of them are located in central town areas and some in other other popular destinations. All of this will improve tourist visiting experience and would also improve the visitor satisfaction to the town. Next, Kelden will explain about the other tech solution.
So one of the main concerns for Banff that I see is effective parking. That's about it, to accommodate for like the increasing amount of visitors. So our basic idea is we want to have it such that we want to track free space or track free parking spots, and then guide the drivers to the drivers to the nearest free available spot. To do so, we are planning to use. We are not planning to use. We actually used it. It is known as YOLO 11S, which stands for "You Only Look Once." It is an advanced AI model which is used for like image detection. And the basic idea around it is we have a screen. So the basic idea is we have a surveillance footage, and the surveillance footage will be the surveillance footage will be like scanned in order to find like how many free available spots are there. Here we use YOLO, and we added we used Tinker to provide for an interactive UI for the users to interact with, and at the end it is used to provide like real-time parking availability. We are not just talk, we actually tried using it. We used the AI version of it, and we have it in the submission folder as well. We wanted to do a demo, but time, so we stick to photos. As you can see on the top left image is a example parking station. We have like free available spots. We digitized it and turned it into polygons in the top left or top right image. That digitized versions, or like that digitized JSON file, to be honest, is the ones that are the polygons or like the polylines. Now we pass now we compare frame by frame. Now we compare like frame by frame surveillance footage along with the polylines. And if the vehicle is within the polyline, it detects it and it shows it as occupied, and the rest it shows it as available. And those are the two demo kind of photos that we took. Next, what do we do after we have the paths or the free parking detected? Next is to optimize it. So that means to find the nearest path. I will be completely honest. We had path detection, like free parking detection and path optimization separate. We didn't have enough time to incorporate into the same system. We wanted to try it using like A-star algorithms and stuff, but we just didn't have enough time. So we did this in ArcGIS Pro instead. The data from the detection part of it was taken out in CSV. And just to be honest, it's like two different examples, so they are not related. It's just a theoretical idea. So the data will be taken out in a CSV format and inputted into the ArcGIS Pro. In ArcGIS Pro, it has like network analysis features to find the shortest routes. And what it will do is it will find the optimal shortest path, such that only the shortest path will be displayed to the user. And this way, the user will be guided to the nearest available free parking spot. So after all this is together, this is how we hope it looks like, or we want it to look like. So there will be a big billboard that shows the availability of parking spots. If it's like a ground level park, there will be just one. And it will tell how many parking spots are available, and a driver will like turn in, will be prompted to go into the parking spots. And when they go in, if you see like a smaller like screen, it will show that screen will be for driver specific directions to the nearest parking spots. Once the driver takes the spot, that will be marked off as like taken. So the next driver won't get the same repetitive driving like parking spots. This way, this will reduce the time people take to recklessly drive around and find free spots, and also less vehicle emission for the environment. Next, I'll pass it on to Matt to talk about the cost and social impacts of it.
Okay, so these are our two main ideas, right? That interactive bus stop and the AI managed parking. We figure we could accomplish this in the ballpark of $140,000 and $250,000 respectively, depending on how big you want your billboards, of course. So the idea here is that we're modernizing certain aspects of the transportation within Banff, but at the same time, we're respecting Banff's natural beauty and its traditions by not really altering the actual footprint of the town itself. Now, I just want to very briefly touch on a couple potential incentives and disincentives that could be implemented to further encourage travelers to either not bring their car at all, or at a minimum, not drive their car downtown. So the town could offer free public transit for anybody that's staying within the Banff area. They could also offer subsidized bus tickets coming in from Calgary. And the town could also look into incentives for off-peak travel, like reduced fares for the gondola or admission to the hot springs. Now, moving on to that kind of discouraging decentives to encourage people to leave their cars at home. I know parking pricing is not the biggest, the biggest fan of it necessarily, but we can start charging for periphery parking lots, with the pricing model increasing as you get closer to the center of town while leaving the resident parking program untouched. We'd also trial one-way streets, and we can broadcast real-time congestion messages and information as an additional decentive for people to bring their car downtown. So in conclusion, we feel that these geomatic solutions can both benefit the tourist and the resident. So we feel that tourists will be far more likely to use a transit system if it's interactable and easy to understand. And for those that do bring their car, we're hoping to eliminate that crawl between parking space and parking lot, searching for a position. Any decrease in congestion is good for the residents, of course. And finally, this is sustainably focused in two ways. By focusing on public transit and removing congestion, we're going to reduce emissions. And of course, we are going to not change the footprint of the town. And that is all we have. If anybody has any questions, we would love to hear them at this time.